We all got screwed over in 2016. Again, it wasn't just us, it was like the people got screwed over, the news media got screwed over, like everybody got screwed over. So now we're rapidly being like, what happened there? How do we prevent it from happening?
Before I jump into this week's video, when G-Mann says something in his video and you good people are not happy with some of my backhanded comments, if I see fit, I will apologise and correct my wrongdoings. For example, last week I said young Pom took aim at daft working conditions on Aussie farms, the cost of living, constant rain and storms, and restrictions on parking vans. Hang on, did she say daft? Who says daft anymore? The backlash was intense, with comments like this from Drobian77. Everyone in the UK still uses the word daft. Open smiley face. Aussie1968 said, I say daft. Must hang my head in shame. He he. John Eskins says, don't be daft. Still in common usage over here in Pommyland. Languages change. Daft Everton said, I say daft. Well, of course you would. Your name's Daft. And finally, this from Geograph 1000. Daft, 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 fucking daft. There, you prick. So to all you good people, G-Mann says, on another note, I thought I was going to get away with having 0 downvotes when KW wrote, what? No thumbs down? Where did all the trolls go? And that was at around the 3,200 views mark. But to my heartfelt surprise, the trolls woke from mummy's basement and shared my video. Then at 3,208 views, I received my first downvote, and at the same time a negative comment from XY Killin' Time, who wrote, Australia equals Arkansas with a beach. You osteoporotic, impotent, senile old men have less testosterone than your wives. Typical baby boomers. Foo. Anywho, I don't often get a chance to do a video that has a serious undertone. I mean, I enjoy the haters and the trolls because they want the opportunity to be heard just like I do. But all that free speech and freedom of expression may one day be eradicated and censorship will be taken over by a talking algorithm. Stay with me. The Latin phrase in vino veritas means in wine lies the truth, suggesting that a person under the influence of alcohol is more likely to speak their hidden thoughts and desires. I should change that phrase to in whiskey sanitas. In whiskey there is health. Have you heard of Project Veritas? Why not? Rudy, sit back and listen up because things are starting to get serious and G-Mann is not happy. I know this video will not be monetized right from the get-go, and it may even be taken down by the very organisation Project Veritas is exposing. Hey, I am no big ticket item like Prager, Dave Rubin or Australia's Mark Latham, but I know my little old channel that only gets around an average of 10,000 views has been targeted by Google's artificial intelligence and their sneaky algorithm. I'll explain later. I am doing this story as many Australians like myself were unaware of the great work that this organisation does, but I also fear that this channel will be shut down simply because I don't follow the left's narrative. I also want to help spread the word about a new report on Google, which includes video of a senior Google executive, leaked documents and testimony from a Google insider. To begin, what is Project Veritas and who is behind this incredible truth-seeking organisation? Well, here's a bit of background. You may want to skip forward if you already know. Project Veritas is a non-profit organisation and they are dedicated to investigating corruption, dishonesty, waste and fraud in both public and private institutions. James O'Keefe's investigations have led directly to the passage of a new legislation, federal and state investigations, congressional inquiries, the defunding of taxpayer-funded groups, arrests, resignations, firings, retrainings and disciplinary action. In May of 2014, O'Keefe released videos of the Cannes Film Festival showing Hollywood's environmentalists agreeing to take money from phony Middle Eastern oil tycoons to fund anti-fracking movies. The videos prompted a US Senate investigation into the funding sources of NGOs. During the 2016 election cycle, both Project Veritas and Project Veritas Action released videos exposing the key Democrats not only admitting that voter fraud exists, but also showing how to successfully commit it on a massive scale. One result was that a New York City Democratic election commissioner was forced out of his position by Mayor de Blasio and the New York Assembly. In 2017, O'Keefe announced to the world that he was going after mainstream media at an inaugural event. In January 2017, his videos helped the FBI, CIA, and DC Metro Police arrest and convict 3 individuals who planned to put butyric acid in the ventilation systems of the National Press Club. His 2018 investigation into Twitter exposed their attempt to silence conservatives on their platform through a stealthy technique called shadow banning. Twitter engineers also admitted they would hand over Trump's personal direct messages to the Department of Justice. The report appears to show Google's plans to affect the outcome of the 2020 elections and prevent the next Trump situation. Now, just to be clear, I was one of those people who believed in the lies that were fed to me while trying to do my own research on who would be the best candidate if I were an American citizen. Seriously, Google, if it were not for the likes of Tucker Carlson, Candace Owens, and Dave Rubin on YouTube, I can see how you target the uneducated who are too lazy to do their own fact-finding. When I watched the Project Veritas video, I wanted to see if my machine would return the same results as it did with James O'Keefe when he demonstrated it with the Insider. For example, when I do a search for men can, the autofill or predictive results show that men can get pregnant, have babies, and now have a womb. However, when I do a search for women can, the results are very different. Women can do it, do anything, and vote. To continue on this path, when I do a Google search for Hillary Clinton's email, you will notice the absence of any autofill suggestions, but it's not the same when you do a search for Donald Trump's emails. I thought I would do my own research and test this a little further and wanted to see some images of white couples. I think Google has a hard time understanding the phrase white couples. So then I thought the same must be for black couples. I think you can see where this is going. And finally, if you do an image search for idiot, surprise, surprise, what do we get? Try it yourself and simply type in pay gap and let me know what you get. Let's head back to the findings. The report includes undercover footage of longtime Google employee and head of responsible innovation, Jen Janai, saying,
like I said, they could just, Elizabeth Warren, even I love her, but she's also saying, you just have to break up Google and that will solve everything.
You have to what?
Elizabeth Warren is saying that we should break up Google. And, I love her, but she's very misguided. That will not make it better, it'll make it worse, because now all these smaller companies who don't have the same resources that we do will be charged with preventing the next Trump situation. It's like a small company cannot do that.
These new documents, supported by undercover video, raise questions of Google's neutrality and the role they see themselves fulfilling in the 2020 elections. Jen Janai is the head of responsible innovation for Google, a sector that monitors and evaluates the responsible implementation of artificial intelligence technologies. In the video, Janai says Google has been working diligently to prevent the results of the 2016 election from repeating in 2020. She says, we all got screwed over in 2016.
See, again, it wasn't just us, it was the people got screwed over, the news media got screwed over, everybody got screwed over, so now we're rapidly being what happened there? How do we prevent it from happening again? So training our algorithms, if 2016 happened again, would the outcome be different?
According to the Insider, machine learning fairness, or MLF is one of the many tools Google uses to promote a political agenda. Documents leaked by a Google informant elaborate on the machine learning fairness and the algorithmic unfairness that AI product intervention aims to solve. Jen Genai, head of responsible innovation of Google, said,
The reason we launched our AI principles is because people were not putting that line in the sand, and they were not saying what is fair and what's equitable. So we're like, well, we are a big company, we're going to say it.
The Google insider explained the impact of artificial intelligence and machine learning fairness. He said that they're going to redefine a reality based on what they think is fair and based on what they want. One document called the Fake News Letter explains Google's goal to have a single point of truth across their products. The leaked documents appear to show that Google makes news decisions about what news they promote and distribute on their site.
Yes, it seems.
Fairness, you need to be fair.
Yeah.
So they're trying to modify the model such that even if the data for a female CEO says
It's low.
No, it's low.
It kind of balances out.
It still balances out.
Comments made by Genai raise similar questions. In a conversation with Veritas journalists, Genai explains that conservative sources and credible sources don't always coincide according to Google's editorial practices. She says,
Accusations on around the fairness is that we're unfair to conservatives because we are choosing what we define as credible news sources, and those news sources don't necessarily overlap with conservative sources, and so we're getting accusations of fair from one side.
the insider shed additional light on how YouTube demotes content from influencers like Dave Rubin and Tim Pool. He said what YouTube did is they changed the results of the recommendation engine. And so what the recommendation engine tries to do, it says, well, if you like A, then you're probably going to like B. So content that is similar to Dave Rubin or Tim Pool, instead of listing Dave Rubin or Tim Pool as people that you may like, what they're doing is that they're trying to suggest different news outlets, for example, like CNN or MSNBC, or these left-leaning political outlets. An additional document Project Veritas obtained, titled Fair is Not the Default, says people like us are programmed after the results of machine learning fairness. The document describes how unconscious bias and algorithms interact. The insider says the reason why I came to Project Veritas is that you're the only one that I trust to be able to be real investigative journalists. He says investigative journalism is a dead career option, but somehow you've been able to make it work. And because of that, I came to Project Veritas because I knew this was the only way that this story would be able to get out to the public.
Bad things can happen. I mean, this is a behemoth, this is a Goliath, I'm but a David, trying to say that the emperor has no clothes. And being a small little ant, I can be crushed, and I'm aware of that. But this is something that is bigger than me. This is something that needs to be said to the American public.
I think these are very brave people who come forward to expose these big tech companies. And Project Veritas intends to continue investigating abuses and encourages more Silicon Valley insiders to share their stories through their Be Brave campaign. As of publishing, Google did not respond to Project Veritas' request for comment. However, on June 24, 2019, Congressman Louis Gohmert released the following statement. This video shows Google's biases are now a threat to a free and fair election, all while they hide behind the immunity given by Congress years ago, when they were supposed to be a simple town square where everyone's voice could be heard without biased results. In fact, Google references a significant role they see themselves fulfilling in the 2020 elections. This discovery should set off alarm bells throughout the country. It is no secret that Google has a political agenda. Multiple brave tech insiders have stepped forward and exposed Google's censorship of content and specialized algorithms. The media giant's social justice narrative should distress all Americans who value a free and open society. Google should not be deciding whether content is important or trivial, and they most assuredly should not be meddling in our election process. They need their immunity stripped and to be properly pursued by class action lawsuits by those they have knowingly harmed. I would love to know your thoughts, and as the title suggests, I wonder how long it will take YouTube to remove my video, so we don't have long. I'm just a tiny flea scratching away at the surface of the giant Google dog. You can help Project Veritas by simply spreading the word and sharing this video. As usual, I would love for you to join in the conversation and comment below. Like and subscribe if you must, and if you have a story like this sent to me by one of you good people, you can do so here. I'm Gerald Pauschmann for The Point TV. Whew. Cheers, Rudy.